Hello and welcome to Insight Germany. My guest today will be familiar to many DW viewers of our Arabic service. He's been working for the company since 2008. For the first few years, dividing his time between Berlin and Cairo, reporting naturally on the changes taking place in the Middle East. Jaafar Abdul Karim now presents a programme called Shabab Talk here on DW, which is a talk show for young people. A show which amazingly has over 4 million viewers in Egypt alone every week. Welcome to the programme.
Hi, Robin.
My first question, actually, it's the only introduction I've done where I haven't mentioned the nationality of my guest, and that was done quite deliberately because you kind of have two nationalities, don't you?
Yeah, I have more than one nationality, as you already said, and I think asking about nationality, I'm not the kind of person, if you tell me what nationality do you have, I'll give you a straight answer. Because I was born in Liberia, in Monrovia, and where I spent my childhood. Then I went to school in Switzerland, and then continuing school and high school in Beirut at the German school in Beirut. Then coming to Germany, studying here, having two exchange students, being in Lyon in France and in London. So when asking what nationality, I always say my parents are from Lebanon, so they want me to say I'm a Lebanese. But I feel also like I'm a citizen of this world because I've been raised up in different cultures. And I don't think when I talk to you and I talk to different people, I never ask for the nationality. I'll just talk to the person. And through talking to the person and having discussion, I discover who this person is. And it's not about nationalities. Nationalities are just done to have the logistic things from my point of view. Like you have the passport, I have the Lebanese passport, and I have the German passport. And that's only done for a document to travel. But
is that why you got a German passport, or was there more to it than just the document to travel? Do you feel
it is a
home
document
in this country?
I feel home in this country. I feel well in this country. I feel home in Berlin. That's a place where I feel like, okay, I wake up in the morning and say, wow, it's nice to be here. I feel it's a place where I can identify myself. It's a place where I feel well. I feel it's just me being able to live here in a place where I feel, you could do everything you want. And you have a work, you have a private life that you also enjoy, you have a work that you also enjoy, you have friends, you speak the language, you know a lot of people. And it's Berlin, it's the atmosphere of Berlin, it's the feeling well in Berlin.
I mean, I think this thing about nationalism, I hope, what you've just said, you're a perfect example of your generation who are getting rid, hopefully, of nationalism. And as you say, you meet someone, and maybe my generation would have said, where are you from? And that question, if I said that to you, and your explanation wasn't saying, well, I'm from Lebanon, or I'm from... Yeah, it's great. It's really nice to have.
Because it's a lot of predisposition. If I ask you where you're from and you tell me I'm from Dublin, then maybe I know a lot of things about Dublin, and then I think, that's you. But maybe it's not you at all. You have your individual personality. You made out yourself what you are now. So it's not the country where you come from. It's like what you make out of it, you know? And being also able to speak different languages and know different cultures and understand different cultures and being able to exchange and be ready to have dialogue with other people, that's amazing. Why should I put someone in one nationality or one corner? Why don't I discover this person and we all together can have more common things than rather being different?
But as you said, you were born in Monrovia in Liberia, and you spent the first 10 years of your life there in an English school, I believe. So you obviously spoke Arabic.
Yes, my parents speak Arabic.
And your English is your sort of second language?
That's also a question. What's my second language? I think I don't have a mother tongue. It's more, I feel in what I'm talking now. And I always say I never talk one language perfect. You know, it's like when you live in different countries, you know different languages and you just use them. And when I was in Africa, my parents are Lebanese, so they talk to me Arabic. They still now talk to me Arabic for sure. But for them, it was important that I get also the good education, knowing the English language. So they sent me to international school. And that's why I was able to learn English. And talking to different people there who were part of the community, you also talk English. And maybe if you know a lot of people coming from Lebanon, because they travel a lot, they know usually more than one language that they use. And you might ask, like, German. The first thing when I learned German is what's Schweizerdeutsch.
Now, yeah, I was coming to this.
Okay.
We have to explain to the audience that, yes, your first knowledge of German was a language that the Germans sort of
don't understand.
Yeah, because it's Swiss German, Schweizerdeutsch. And I wonder, can you actually say something in Schweizerdeutsch?
I try. I mean, there have been a time, like maybe more than 13, 14 years, but it's like, ich has nicht mehr so gut. That's Schweizerdeutsch. And in German it would be say like, ich kann es nicht mehr so gut. And that's the difference. I don't know if you know now the difference.
Yeah, I do. Say it again. That first.
Ich has nicht mehr so gut, which is like, I don't know it anymore that well. Or in German you would say, ich kann es nicht mehr so gut.
Yeah.
And in Schweizerdeutsch, ich has nicht mehr so gut. And actually, for me, it was like for granted to talk Schweizerdeutsch, because I learned German in Switzerland. But at school, you learn like the real German language. But you talk in the society and with friends, you talk the Schweizerdeutsch.
It's a real strong accent.
Yes,
isn't it?
It's an accent that you can use.
We'll talk more a bit about when you came to Germany and that. But what I want to know now is how did you come to Deutsche Welle, or DW as we know?
Yeah. Okay.
Because there is stuff in between, and we'll come back to that.
Yeah, Deutsche Welle. I finished my education, then I had media training here in Germany in different media companies. And I was at a point like saying, what do you want to do out of your life? Where do you want to work? Do you want to work like in a media company that's national? Do you want to work in a media company that's international? And then I was in Berlin and I was said, okay, I got it. International broadcaster, it's Deutsche Welle. So I applied for Deutsche Welle. I have the background that I have and the languages that I know and the way I am, I think fits into Deutsche Welle.
And was that about the time there was a sort of increase of the Arabic service as well? I'm trying to think of dates.
It was 2008.
The
Arabic service was, I think, I don't know anymore how many hours, but they were really doing well.
Yeah.
And then I came in and I was like at the right time, at the right place, because there was a youth talk show being done, and they just started it, and they said, okay, this guy is the right person for this show. And now I'm sitting here after 6 years with you, being one of the DW's presenters.
Okay. We'll talk more about how you found Germany when you first came to study a little later. But right now, I think it's time to see what Jaafar does here at DW.
Jaafar in his element, hosting DW's popular show for young people, Shabab Talk.
أهلا بكم في شباب توك، البرنامج المشترك بين قناة DW الألمانية والحياة المصرية.
The talk show is his greatest passion. He loves to get people from Germany and the Arab world involved in lively discussions of the burning issues of the day. The topics touch on matters which genuinely affect people's lives. It's often intense, emotional, and heated. Jaafar says it's essential to get out of the studio too. He wants to find out what's going on firsthand. He experienced the Arab Spring at close quarters in Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya. His documentary about events in Egypt won international acclaim. He's constantly on the go. The demands of the global news cycle leave little time for sleep.
We are awake 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And now it's 11:30 evening.
It is.
That's the real life of a VJ. But no, Birgitta, I think it's time to go to sleep now, no?
Yes, you're right. Good night.
Good night.
When Jaafar isn't working on a news story, he's on Twitter and Facebook, keeping fans up to the minute. His tech passion and social networking skills made him a natural choice as DW's first social media correspondent. He's always on top of major international stories, especially developments in the Arab countries.
All right, I'm joined now by Jaafar Abdul Karim. He just returned from Libya. And Jaafar, you produced the story that we just saw on the situation in Benghazi.
The multilinguist also pops up on DW's German and Arabic news services.
هذه القصة تتناول واقع أطفال يخاطرون بحياتهم يومياً من أجل الوصول إلى المدرسة.
As if this weren't enough, he also presents the Arabic version of our program World Stories from time to time, as well as numerous live events in Germany and abroad. Media forums, discussion panels, award ceremonies. It's important to exchange ideas with other journalists and activists. He's currently at home in the heart of Europe, the German capital Berlin. Just the place for a cosmopolitan soul with a dash of wanderlust.
And he's here in the studio with me. Shabaab Talk, I mentioned 4 million viewers in Egypt alone. Why do you think it's so successful? They obviously needed it.
Yeah. Shabab Talk is a talk show where young people from Germany and Arab countries meet every week to talk about socio-political topics. And I think when we started, it was very important for us to have a talk where we can talk about everything that young people want to talk about.
Like what? What are the big stories?
The transformation phase going on now in the Arab countries, in Egypt. Like, what role do young people play? What do they have to change in order to be part of the political system, not just watching and being on Facebook, but really be active part of what's going on in the changes? You have like some controversial topics like homosexuality in the Arab countries, like you have even topics like women's rights, concerning women's rights. You have every topic that every single young person in the Arab countries is interested in. And sometimes they can talk about it, but sometimes it's not easy to talk about in some media landscape in the Arab countries. That's Shabab Talk. It's important to have like topics concerning human rights, concerning the rights of individual being the way he or she wants to be. These are topics that we really talk about.
And you're using those screens, that's Twitter and
yes, Facebook. Yeah, because I mean, we have like 3 or 4 guests in every talk show, but you have 200 million young people in the Arab countries. So we said it's very important to be interactive, to get also voices from people who cannot be in the studio. So we put questions on Facebook or Twitter, and people can give their opinion to the topic, and it's part of the talk show. And I think that's important now. You can't do a talk or you can't do a program without having the opinions of the viewers, because the viewers see it now as a dialogue. It's a way of interaction. It's a way of exchange. And everyone is using Twitter, Facebook, and the whole social media thing. So why not having part of it? Beside that, we had a very good cooperation partner in Egypt. And that's why we got so much
There's
people
no problem
watching us.
it being broadcast there, then? There's no problem with it being broadcast. It's quite controversial, presumably.
It is quite controversial. That's why now, if today we are not having any cooperation partner in Egypt, we're doing it on our own, because it's very important for us to talk free, without any censorship, to talk about every topic, to have everyone being able to be at the show. And sometimes it might be like a challenge for some media companies in the Arab countries to allow this. But for us, that's the DNA of Shabab Talk, like talk free, let everyone talk about everything and let everyone discuss every point of view that is welcomed according to we see concerning human rights and yeah.
This is a good time to bring in a friend of yours, if he's... Yes, yeah, there he is.
It's Bassem Youssef.
Bassem Youssef. Just for people who don't know who he is, perhaps watching this programme, because we're all around the world.
Yeah. Bassem Youssef, I've done with him 3 interviews so far, and Bassem is, for me, he's the voice of freedom of expression and freedom of press in the Arab countries today. Why? Because he is the host of a political satire show in Egypt, where he talks about different topics. No one might be talking about them, controversial topics, but he's very smart the way he presents these topics. He does it like in a way of entertainment, in a funny way, in a comedy way, in a very sarcastic way. So heavy topics.
A bit like Jon Stewart
exactly.
of The Daily Show.
Yeah, they say that Bassem Youssef is the Jon Stewart of the Arabic countries. And the way he
is looking a bit different now. Looking very serious in the first photo, but now as you're... Do keep talking, sorry, but I'm just showing this photo.
It's the famous selfie I did with him after the interview, because we are happy to have Bassem now being broadcasted as a second broadcaster at Deutsche Welle in the Arabic department, in the Arabic service of Deutsche Welle. And the way he talks about things, I see him like he's the cool guy where everyone else is being uncool tonight, these days. And he's an important media personality in the Arabic media landscape to be able to talk about very hard topics in a very funny way, and people really like to watch him, because when you look at Arab countries today, a lot of things going on. So you need to have a smile, like, okay, hard topics, yes, but why not having a smile? And he's able to give this smile to a lot of audience.
And a big coup to get him on DW, I guess.
Yes, it's a great step for us to have him, and but I think that's Bassem being in a channel like Deutsche Welle, because we stand for human rights and freedom of expression. Yeah. So it's great to have him as a colleague and to win him as a colleague in our channel.
Yeah. I just want to ask you a bit about the Arab Spring.
Yes.
I mean, I know you're a journalist and you're neutral.
Yes.
But you have experience there. I mean, 2011, we're 3 years on. Is it progressing? Is it standing still? Or is it actually stagnating?
Hard question. I mean, let's say, what did change? Change was the young people, and people are now able to say their opinion. That's already a big change for me.
And for instance, Bassem Youssef is on television.
Is on television.
And allowed to make jokes.
Yeah, but maybe let's be on the ground. Let's not talk about personalities. Let's talk about the young people who are looking for a job and looking for change and looking for their future. Because media personalities always have a different case. But I'll think about an 18-year-old guy in Cairo or in Libya that dreams of having a nice future and being able to work and being able to build us a future that he dreams of. And I think that's what changes now, that people and the young people say, no, not with us. Before you could do everything, but now we have our voice. We want to change, we believe in the change, but they also know now after 3 years that this change is not happening within 3 years, as we can see. It takes a longer time. But they are part of the change, they are part of giving their opinion. And I think that's the big change that I see. For sure, a lot of problems, a lot of political problems going on, but that's a big turning point of people being part of what's going on in their countries, not being a passive part, being an active part. And we see it in Egypt. I mean, the first president elected after the revolution, they said, no, it's enough. So he's now not anymore a president. And I think when the second president again comes and he is not doing what the young people or the majority wants, looking for democracy and being the same and having the same opportunities, then it's going to happen again. They will not let anything to them.
Okay. I want to ask you about coming to Germany.
Yes.
How were you perceived when you came? It was Heidelberg, wasn't it, where you first studied?
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking, if you like, Islamophobia.
Yeah.
I mean, how were you perceived when you came? Luckily enough, speaking very good German. It could have been with a Schweizerdeutsch accent, but you spoke very good German. I'm interested to know, did you have a hard time?
No. Because this is like a topic where everyone, you know, you're from the Arab countries or you have been living there, and then you arrive here in Europe, and that's the first thing we say, Islamophobia and the whole thing. I think it's the way you deal with it. I don't see myself as being someone representing a community or a country. I see myself as being an individual. So if someone comes to me and talks to me about something concerning Islamophobia and the way Islam countries are, for me, if they are really attacking or doing it in a very negative way, I tell them, maybe they are not well informed, so I try to inform them. And if there is no way of action and reaction and a dialogue, I just stop doing it, because I'm not here to change the opinions of others. You know, the people who are really interested in knowing other countries and other cultures and other people, they will do it. You have Google, you can search about everything. Maybe there are negative and positive things, but you can also try to have a dialogue with different people and ask and knowing the truth. And maybe the media, because I go back and say you cannot change the whole opinion, but you can give a platform for people to talk together. And when I go back to Shabaab Talk, it's like really a circle all about doing that. You know, when you have in Shabaab Talk people from different cultures, different religion talking to each other and having a dialogue now, today, and then 10 years later, they will be like talking to other communities, and so that's the way you build out a good dialogue. So I'm not like the person who says Islamophobia, and when people talk to me, it's everyone has an opinion. They can say whatever they want. I never cared for that. And I never had even bad experience. But that's because the way I think and the way I approach people, and being in a country here, I know my rights and I know what I have to do. I know the law. I know the language. I'm part of this society. I'm an active part of this society. So it's not about waiting for someone to tell me something or approaching someone. It's just I'm living, I'm an active part, and it's my right. So let's enjoy Germany. And Germany is a place where you can really enjoy and you can really reach when you want to do. I mean, I came here, studied, and now I'm sitting here as a presenter for the international broadcaster for Germany. It's like Germany's face to the outside world, and I'm not origin German. I have the German citizenship. So you can see there is a possibility. It's the way you deal with it, and how positive, how you understand others, how open you are, how tolerant you are. I mean, if someone doesn't understand you, so it's part of the whole game. You can not everyone can understand everything.
And you're, it has to be said, you're a well-travelled man as well.
Yes.
And you mentioned a bit earlier, you mentioned that famous word that has got into the Oxford Dictionary, selfie.
Yeah.
And Jaafar's actually made a selfie for us because he's an addict. We'll talk about that in a minute. A moving selfie, if you like. Here he is on his travels. And a little game for you. Guess where he is before he tells you.
Well, as you can see, I'm now at the Plaça de Catalunya in Barcelona. Sun is shining. So we are now at Tahrir Square in Cairo. As you can see now, we are in
London, baby!
We are in London, baby! So, where am I now? It's in Dubai. You might ask, where am I now? I'm in Italy, in Rome, and behind me is the Colosseum. You might ask, where am I now? It's in Berlin. It's the place where I live. I feel well here, been living since a while, and Berlin is cool, Berlin is hip, and yeah, it's Berlin.
You're putting your head in your hand. That's good. That's great. A lot of people would envy you. Yeah. I did notice, though, when you were in Barcelona, you said something like, and here we are in... but does that sometimes happen?
Yes, it happens.
Because you travel in enormous amounts,
Yes.
don't you?
When you travel a lot, and I mean, globalization, it's not a new thing, so a lot of places where you go are almost maybe the same, and then sometimes you really like... I had it last week. I was in Perugia, being part of the International Journalism Festival, and I felt like it's so multicultural, it's so international. Where are we now?
It comes back to what you said at the beginning, though, about nationalism. This word has to go from the language. Yeah, yes. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah. I also saw there, it said Unspoken Human Rights Festival. Your documentary was nominated. What was that about?
It was about the transformation phase in Egypt, called After the Storm. And we traveled with a colleague of mine. We traveled like through Egypt, knowing what transformation phases are going on concerning the economy and concerning also the human rights. And so it was like a very compact piece. I think it was 42 minutes about really getting deep and inside to peoples and knowing their stories and their everyday struggle and challenges. And yeah. That's the topic.
That's the serious side of you. I
Yes.
believe this is your next movie. Not really.
Well,
we
Pang
found this.
Fiction,
we
yeah.
found this picture, and we had.
Yes.
You
I
weren't
mean,
expecting this.
Now
I
I might rethink about not putting everything on Facebook and Twitter, because that's from Facebook, I think, right? You got it from Facebook.
Yeah, we did.
It was
We did.
Pang Fiction. I did a director course at the London Film Academy. So we had the chance to experience a bit about big movies. So I decided to do like Pulp Fiction, to have the Pang Fiction thing, and it was really funny. I mean,
It actually does bring me to this whole thing about modern technology. You filmed that on your iPhone, not Pang Fiction, sorry, the report.
Yes, the report.
Is that the future for journalists, do you think? Filming everything on iPhones, or perhaps slightly more sophisticated, but it's getting more sophisticated by the day.
It's part of the future. It's not the future, I would say. It's part of the future. I think mobile reporting has been done now a lot through different journalists. And I think you cannot ignore the role of the whole small iPhone and the other smartphones and the social media and the impact they have on our daily way we perceive journalism. And when I have this small iPhone, I mean, I can like really travel the world and make a video and a picture with it. And sometimes it helps you in countries where you don't get a permission. Maybe you can use it.
Yeah.
So it's
and
it's part of it.
Facebook and Twitter, is that again
Yes.
what journalists are going to be using more?
Yes, I think yes, because I call it's now interactive journalism. It's not anymore about one-sided. Like I'm, as a journalist, write a topic and then I send it and the people read it and that's it. No, it's in two-way communication. It's a dialogue. Like my listener, my viewer wants to be part of it. He wants to participate. She wants to be telling her opinion. And that's why we should be, as journalists, should be much more open about concerning these things. And let's take it as an opportunity to know our viewers and to use this. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you,
Yeah.
but can it sometimes be too immediate?
It depends for what do you use it. Like you
Yeah.
can't use it as the first source for now. You have to have verification tools you can use, and then you know if it's the right
Okay.
thing or not. So you have to take care of it. But if you know the people, and if you know the activists, and if you know the people you are talking to, and who are delivering some information, then you can trust them. But be very calm with it, and be very don't use until you know the verification.
I mean, the Arab Spring was also known as the Facebook revolution, wasn't it? Because perhaps it wouldn't have happened without social media.
It's not the Facebook revolution, it's part of it, because you have a lot of young people used Facebook and Twitter and the whole thing. But I think it's a tool they used to just interact and to meet and to exchange ideas and to say, okay, let's meet at 6 o'clock at Tahrir, and then we're going to have a big demonstration. And it was very important to also have an awareness to the international media. You know, they were able to contact to international journalists and talk to them, because otherwise, how would you know every individual? So it was a communication tool that it was used. It was also has an impact on gathering and allowing people to say their voice. And the more people interact, then it's getting more serious. And at the end, that's what happens in the 25th in Cairo. Like it was an event on Facebook that people said, but a tool, but the causes are others, economic.
But now
and the whole
you're,
things.
of course, presenting a social media program here
Yes.
on DW,
Yes,
on the Arab program.
Yes.
Soon, as soon as they hear your wonderful English,
Yes.
you'll be taking my job away, because I believe I was going to present. No, but you are, aren't you? Tell us about that.
Well, it's a segment in the journal, in the news that we have, and we try to. Yeah, I mean, a lot of viewers and our listeners and the people who visit our websites want to be part of what we're doing. So why not giving them the voice and letting them participate and know what they think about different topics. And that's what we actually do. We say, like, tell us your opinion, be part of our talk, be part of our journal, and we want to know what you think. So it's part of it. Journalism today is interactive. It's cross-mediality, even different medium channels. You cannot anymore say it's like TV, it's radio, it's online. No, it's multimedia.
Yeah. You're very busy. We can tell from just this talk. You're doing this, you're doing that. What do you do to relax?
To relax, I mean, work for me is not that stress. When you do something that you love, that's your passion, that you really can identify yourself with it, then you enjoy it. But nevertheless, I swim. That's what I do. Okay.
Can we show this one?
I mean, you're already showing it, I think, right?
Yeah, this is Jaafar swimming, or it's a very clever Photoshop.
No, it's really, it's not a Photoshop. It's swimming, it's going to musicals, it's meeting friends. But I enjoy the whole traveling things, and the whole work thing is not that stressful that I say like, oh my God, I have to really have a distance. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I really like what I'm doing. And even when I have free or I'm on vacation, you can see me like twittering and looking at Facebook and seeing what's happening on the ground because I'm interested. It's the curiosity in me.
Yeah, it's your generation. It's going to go on like that. Have you ever seen that one?
No, the last piece. No.
That's about well, you know, but for our audience, it's about a German, a classic sort of German rock star. And I was once in a hotel having breakfast, to be honest, had quite a hard night before, and we got the biggest shock of my life because sitting round me were 50 of him.
Okay.
Because there were 50 Udo Lindenberg lookalikes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, have you ever had a selfie taken with a musical star?
No, but I know that you are a musical star. You do musicals.
I did a musical, or I've done a few, but musical star's wrong, it has to be said. I was in the chorus of the very original Evita. So shall we have a quick selfie?
Yeah. It's not a chance to have.
Can we do this?
It's their chance for me to have.
Wait, I'll come over to you.
Okay, just let me.
Quick selfie whilst on air, live on Insight Germany.
And you have like the typical selfie looking, no? It's like. So, I've got it.
So do you have ambitions to go on stage?
No. I'm already on stage now as a TV presenter, but I enjoy watching musicals and have been seeing like different ones in New York and London and Berlin and different cities, because what I like about musicals is the show. It's the emotion you have there. It's not, because as a journalist, you have to be neutral. You have to adapt to certain topics, etc., etc. But watching musicals, like, whew, be free,
takes you away.
Sing, dance, colors, show, pam, whatever. The piece we show at the beginning with the Friedrichstadt Palace, it's like a very big show, and I enjoy it, like being just free when watching them.
Yeah,
but me dancing, I like to dance. But it's not on the musicals. I don't think it's a good idea then.
I thought we were going to break a story there.
No.
Our questionnaire, a couple of things you said in it which really fascinated me. Favourite German word, nicht desto trotz.
Yes.
Which is a classic one because it's 3 words. They join them together. It would be nevertheless in English. Why do you particularly love that?
Because when you say nicht desto trotz, the way it sounds, it's like nicht desto trotz, and the way I cannot explain it. It's like I love this word, and the way you use it as a meaning, like sometimes in a sentence, you're going on a way, you're saying, I like this and that, but, or nevertheless, nicht desto trotz, you put another opinion to it, and I enjoy it. Using it, and I feel like maybe sometimes when I use it, I feel like I understood the German language. I know the way the German language functions. It's like nicht desto trotz. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. You put as a good German characteristic friendship.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because
I have a lot of German friends. Again, I wouldn't say like German, Italian, whatever, Lebanese friends. It's just it's just the way friendship here is with some friends I know in Berlin, and we have really a long-term friendship. You can really count on a friend here in Germany. You can really rely on a friend here in Germany, and it's a very honest trust way. And if someone is your friend, then he or she is really your friend. It's not just, hey, let's be friends and we are all friends and let's have that and this and that. No, they really mean it. And I like it's honest, it's clear, it's very, and you know where you are then in this friendship. So I connect to Germany.
I've heard this often on this program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, cool.
And irritating German characteristic actually sort of goes with that a bit, strangely enough, because you say cold, neutral, but give them a chance.
Yes.
That's also to do with this friendship. It's hard to get in.
Yes, but when you get in,
when you're in,
then you got it.
Yeah.
That's exactly, yes.
Yeah. German culinary achievement, bread. They all love.
I love the bread.
German.
Just to have a German bread with olive oil is like, I'm happy.
And do you remember what you said about the best thing about living in Germany?
I think I said then, live and let live.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You did.
Yes,
you did.
Yes, it is like this, because being in Berlin, like, you really can do whatever you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be, and it just there are some laws you have to apply, which is okay. There are some social norms, but you just be the way you want to be, and everyone lets you be. The one you want to be, and it's freedom. I mean, the Berlin is freedom. Berlin is like, you have so different perspectives, so different cultures, so different people, and everyone is doing what he or she wants to do, and that's not for granted. I've been in different cities, and I know that's not for granted to be who you want to be and to live it also.
But Lebanon, which is your other home, if you like, Lebanon's considerably more free than other Arabic countries.
If you're in Beirut, it's an amazing city.
Yeah.
I enjoy being in Beirut. I enjoy having the spirit of Beirut, people meeting in Beirut. You have a very good culture scene, you have a good party scene, you have people who are really open, and you have people coming from different countries living in Beirut. And yeah, it's full of life, even going through the whole challenges and political challenges that it has every day and every minute. Still, the people are full of life and full of dynamics, and they say, hey, let's go on. We want to live, we want to enjoy our living, and they look forward. And I like when someone is really positive and optimistic, and that's what I see in people living in Beirut.
And do you think with all this travelling around, has your perspective changed over the years? If you can think back 10 years ago, when you were first coming to Europe, if you like, how has it changed you?
I think I've learned to respect, accept every kind of person, and to deal with this person, and to have a very tolerant way, the way I see different topics and different perspectives. You are more listening, you are more trying to understand, rather than having a predisposition on someone. You know, that you're more open about the whole thing. When you travel a lot and you meet people, you see we have a lot of common things, and everyone has his or her own story, struggling in life and searching for something. And that's like a very common things we all have. That's why when I meet people from whatever, which level they are, if they are the CEO or if they are working in a service work, or they are doing different things, we are all humans. It sounds like very cheesy and it's for granted, but that's really it. I mean, it's simple when you understand and try to know people and try to understand them. Why? Let's enjoy it. Let's know each other.
You're very positive person. It's nice to talk to you. And
why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
It's the only way to be.
Yeah.
What's the next step for you? With DW, or are you flying off? Or
no, I'll continue doing Shabab Talk, and we are now at DW having a new structure, and we are trying to have new programs. So I'm very happy to be part of the whole DW family and to be an active part of DW, and looking forward for DW to be better and great and doing a great job.
New challenges coming up from DW.
Exactly.
Jaafar, thanks very much for joining us today. It's been fascinating. If you want to write to us, insight@dw.de. That's it. I've got to say goodbye, I'm told.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to talk for ages.
Thank you. It was really...
Yeah, no.
I mean, the time went really very